Hello and a very good day everyone. So today we will learn on data cleaning using this given data set. So if in this particular report, what we have is we do have a account code 4001, 4002, 4003, and my manager wants me to extract this particular account code, and also my manager also wants me to extract the cost element. So this is the thing, and then we want to actually have all the transaction items in one line, and whatever in debit is a positive, whatever in credit is negative. So now how am I supposed to do this data cleaning, and especially if I want to extract in Power BI? So let's get started. So first thing is I open my Power BI, I go to blank report, and I will click on import data from Excel because the source is from Excel, and then I need to know where I save. Do I save in document? Do I save in downloads? So apparently I save in downloads. I click over here. So you need to know where you save your file, and then I press open. Once I press open, you will notice that a box will appear. So now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to click on this particular worksheet, and then I'll just go to transform data. Why? Because apparently my data is not clean, so I click on transform data. Bila saya tekan transform data, it will navigate to Power Query Editor. So transform data means will automatically go to Power Query Editor, and here I'll do some cleaning. Okay, so I'll just remove these columns. Okay, and apparently we have already removed the columns. What I'm going to do is I'm going to actually remove this particular row. So the first row is not needed. You can actually click remove row or remove top row, remove blank row. I'm going to click on remove blank row. Okay, so the first row has been removed. So right now I actually want to extract the number 4001, 4002, 4003, and I also want to actually extract the cost element name, like post system, software, internet. So how am I going to do this? This is where we will use the custom column of mQuery. So go to add column, click custom column. So basically I want to extract this 4001. How to extract 4001? Well, I'll use text. The function, there is a function called text before, text after. So first thing is you can either use either one of it, maybe text before or text after. So I'm going to choose text after. After what? So in this column, text after this semicolon. So I'm going to just click this column 3, insert, and then comma, and then I put apostrophe, semicolon, and then after that space, apostrophe, and then close bracket. And then I press OK. So apparently what happened is it will extract anything after the semicolon, and then I can just do the same. Basically I only want the number, so I'll choose text before. So I'm going to write here text before, and then open bracket, and over here if you notice I actually want before the open bracket. So I'm going to put this delete, and then I put here comma, and then apostrophe, space, open bracket, close apostrophe, close bracket, and then I press OK. So apparently what happened is it will actually extract me these numbers over here. So whatever numbers that it has, and it actually should be extracted. But what you should do is, if just say I want to fill down, what I can actually do is, if just say I press right click and I press fill down, apparently it doesn't fill down. So in this case I need to click a conditional column first. So let me just remove this and remove this. So how to create a conditional column? The first step is I'm going to click these two columns over here. Whenever if you notice there is a null and null over here, that means it indicates that this is an account code, this is cost element, post system, and so on. So before I add, I just want to put it 0. So transform and then replace value. So whatever null I replace with 0. And then what I do is I will add this column. Okay, so that means just put first row as header. Okay, so that will become first row as header, and then let me add this. So I go to add column, standard, and I press add. So automatically year will be 0. So what I want is, if just say year is equals to 0, then it should show me the account code, cost element, and so on. So conditional column, and then I click here. If the addition is equals to 0, then I'll just put here, select a column and column number 1. Otherwise it is null. There you go. And then I want to do the same thing, whereby, so this data over here, what I'm going to do is, if just say I want this column 2 to appear, so conditional column again, column number 2, addition column equals to 0, then it will show me column number 2. otherwise it is null. There you go. So now we have already done this. The next thing is I'll just press fill down. Right click and fill down. And just like that, it has already filled down. So now I want to extract the 4001 and the POS system. So I go to custom column. What I need to do is, like just now I did, text. You want to use text between the second, up to you, but you need to know the argument like text, start delimiter, end delimiter, and so on. So just say I want to choose, okay, maybe I can try to choose text between delimiter as well, because it's redundant for me to do text after, text before. It's up to you. So I'm going to click here custom and I press here insert. So my starting delimiter will be '', semicolon, space, and then comma. Another delimiter will be '', and then I just use the open bracket, space, open bracket, close '', close bracket. Now when I press OK, what happens is it will show me, okay, here is 4000. So you want to use text after, text before, text between also can. And in this case, I'm going to do the same thing. I want to capture the post system. So custom, and I'm going to put here text. So if you want to use text before, if you want to extract anything before the delimiter, or text after, so can. But I'm going to use text between, and then the text will be custom to, and then over here '', and then space, semicolon, space, comma, '', space, open bracket, semicolon, open bracket, close '', and then close bracket, and then enter. So now this is my data, but apparently what I want is I want the custom one. So we have this data. Let me just check. Okay, so we have selected custom. I think it's not custom 2. Basically it should be custom 1. Okay, so let me just remove this. Okay, so I'm going to go to custom 1 and I press insert, I press OK. So apparently what happened, now we do have this account code and cost element. So this column is not necessary. You can actually remove this, and I don't want the 0, so I can just click this and unselect the 0, and then I press OK. So apparently what happened is we do have this data. So this addition, we have cleaned the data. These two columns I can actually move at the front, or you can also right click, move to beginning, just like that. So here we do have the account code, here we do have the cost element, here we have the reference, here we have the transaction, here we have the debit and credit. So this column not necessary, so I just want to remove this, and then I will unpivot this column. Right click and unpivot. So here we have debit and credit. So what my manager wants is, basically whenever the item is credit, my manager wants it to be negative, because something like, reduce the transaction, because this is expenses. So credit side means it will reduces. So I'll try to use a conditional column again. So I'll put here conditional column, and then I'll just select this. If just say the attribute is equals to the word of credit, so this one have to be correct spelling and correct casing. Then I want it to be -1, otherwise will be +1. There you go. So now this is the data. So whenever it's credit, it's negative. Whenever it's debit, it is actually positive. Then what I do is I'll multiply this. So I'll just go to standard and multiply. So just like that. So whatever you see here, that's negative. And I also want to remove the 0 because it's like a redundant thing. So I'll just click here and remove the 0. There you go. So right now we do have all this transaction. I can actually remove this column. So over here is basically the account code. This will be the cost element. This will be the reference. This will be the description. And here is will be the account item, whether it's a debit side or credit side. And then this will be the RM. So this RM indicates that whenever it's a debit, that means it increase the expenses. Whenever it's credit side, it reduces, and so on. So just say your manager wants to know, okay, for 4001, 4002, what is the amount? You can actually do what? You can actually press close and apply. But what I want to do is I just want to change a little. So this one is basically text. So I go to transform, I click here, I change to text. So just like that. So now we have actually clean our data. Then you can go to home, then you can press close and apply. So eventually it will load back to Power BI. So from here we can actually understand what is the account code, what is the cost element details, and so on. So once it's eventually loaded to Power BI, then that is where you can actually build a visual to actually understand. So for example, I want to know for cost element how much is the balance CD or the balances that we have. So apparently this is the details that we have, so we know, okay, this is how much, and so on, and then after that we can just adjust. So this is actually how we use Power Query to clean the data, and then Power BI to show the visual.